Good morning, guys. It is a new week. It is Monday, April 20th. It's 9:21 a.m. We have about 9 minutes to market open, and this is what the charts are looking like. So over the weekend, Iran closed the strait again, so the oil tankers were blocked. So of course we had the exact same thing happen that we had last week where we gap down and just start buying right back up. I think that's what's going to happen today too, because you can see right at market open, we gapped down. I believe it was around 300 points. Well, so yeah, we gapped down about 150 points, but then we did also end up moving all the way down to 280 points. But as you can see, we are obviously buying right back up. So I do expect us just to fill the whole gap, probably go up to previous day highs. That's what the second target is, previous day highs, gap fill. ES, same deal, exact same story where we did gap down. We're buying back up. I'm targeting that gap fill and obviously previous day highs and honestly all-time highs since they're not that far away. It is 40 points away. So all-time highs would be a decent target as well on both pairs. I really hope we can find some sort of trades this week to pass the accounts, but I'm not going to be forcing anything. If the setup comes, we'll take it. If it doesn't, that's it. But yeah, I'll report to you guys at the end of the trading session. I really hope this microphone over here works. I literally just bought it 20 minutes ago and I have just started setting it up right now. See the box, everything is right over here. So I hope that the audio is working, because if not, that will really be a frustrating moment for me. So this is how we started the week. We started the week pretty much break even across all of the accounts, ending the day about $10. I'm going to crash out, dude. I need to make that money back. I need to make the money back. Anyways, ended up break even on the day. I wanted to see price go higher, but that never happened. It's completely okay. And it did not go higher. It was going higher, so price was going towards my draws. But unfortunately, Trump tweeted out some more news, which absolutely started dumping the markets. But I was break even when that happened, so it's okay. What I saw going into the day today was, obviously, so from market open last night, we gapped down because we had the war news from last night where the Strait of Hormuz, the oil tankers, everything shut down once again. They closed it. So obviously we're going to gap down. That's bearish for stocks, for everything's bad. Gap down. But what we know is that so what you want to do with trading is obviously follow the trend. We have been extremely bullish this entire month. What do? You're not going to short this big of a move. You follow the trend. You see this happen already before, where the exact same thing happened the week before. We gapped down 400 points, and what do? Immediately buy back up. When we had this massive thing, what happened? We gapped down, immediately bought back up. So third time, you're not going to keep going against the trend, right? So simply, that's what I told myself. I'm like, okay, it's literally just longs or nothing today. What do we have for targets? We had hourly gap fill below right here, which we took right at market open, and we had draws higher. We had the full gap fill right above here and all-time highs. Realistically, we were also like 50 points from all-time highs, so it wasn't that crazy to target. What else did I see? So my condition for the day was, I saw going into the market open, we have this unfilled 30-minute gap. I want to see how price reacts out of the 30-minute gap, and simply we got a reaction out of the 30-minute gap. You can see it does not end up playing out, and this was because Trump started tweeting and we're going to start running lower. I'll show you guys later. But so pretty much my trade was here. Market open, we took a draw, start moving lower into my condition in this 30-minute gap. I scaled down on the 1 minute to see that we get a really strong V-shaped flip right over here. So this was at 9:50 a.m. We got, I think this was about 60 points V-shaped flip. So I see, okay, we might start running higher to my targets. I don't like playing just pure V-shaped flip because they are extremely risky. I always like to wait for the second flip. So I'll wait for the reaction higher, retrace, I'll take that second move because it is always higher probability, safer. So a lot of IFVG traders always take the first flip, you get cooked, the second flip plays out. Simply just wait. So I knew that we had really strong volume, so maybe we might not get a really deep retrace. So anything goes. One down candle, boom. Right over here was my entry. I entered right over here. Stops were somewhere in this area, and I just needed a quick, I think it was around 40 something points. My
TP was somewhere over here. Anyways, my TP was in this area because I was just looking to target my account pass. So enter right here. You can see boom, boom, boom. We start playing candles out. Once I get over here, I'm already 2 positions in 2 contracts. I'm like, okay, I'm going to enter once again. So I entered, obviously, and that starts dragging up your TP to about halfway point. So I'm in this trade for 1-to-1 R now. What happens? I go break even. First of all, I didn't realize that I would have gone dragged this close up because I thought I'm in 2 contracts. I'm adding 1 more contract. That's not that much more. So I thought I'd maybe get dragged up a little more. No, it literally went almost to top of the price. So break even right here, and I end up getting break even on pretty much the next candle. Simple as that. And it's okay because I would have gone break even either way. But as you can see, my draw never ends up getting hit. We just started straight dumping right after that. And I was not going to trade catching this move because, as I mentioned, it's pretty simple, longs or nothing. I didn't understand why we were going lower at the time. I didn't want to. I didn't really care for us to go lower. So simple, no trade day for me today. Not mad about it. Pretty happy with my execution because I did have the discretion to go break even earlier than I'm supposed to, all due to the reason that I was size in heavy. I did not like where my entry was anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go break even. Thankfully, I went break even because I could have obviously lost on that. So yeah, mitigated risk at the right time. And that's really it for today. Hopefully this week goes better. We do have more red folder, orange folder news these coming days. So I'll be looking to see how we play out. I do want to be trading. I'm going to be trading, trying to pass my accounts. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, so it is Tuesday night, 9:41 p.m. We ended up banking hard today. We ended up almost passing all 5 accounts. One account is $12 away from passing, but the rest are really close. So I'll show you guys what I saw going into today. So clearly all I'm looking for is higher time frame. I'm looking for higher draws, all because, what do you mean? We are pretty much still at all-time highs. We swept all-time highs and started moving lower, but we are still near all-time highs, still trending bullish. So all I was looking for was higher price. My draws for the day were really simple. It was this 8:30 a.m. data high, and then also I was targeting this 5-minute high right over here. The reason I did not want to target all-time highs, you can see we swept all-time highs, created a new one, and started moving lower. So that was my reasoning for not wanting to try and trade above that, as the new all-time high was literally just a rejection wick. It was us sweeping it and moving lower. So really simple. I wasn't going to trade any much higher than pretty much the old all-time high, and it was the right move. I'll show you why. Going into market open today, price ended up just dumping. I don't even realize how much of this was. It's probably 100 points, right? Wow, it was 90 points that we dumped. Ran through this 15-minute gap I was looking for, took out London Asia highs, and we, funny enough, held the smallest 5-minute gap I have ever seen in my life. How many points is this? We held a 3.5-minute gap. So you'll see we take the gap, tap in it, we start flipping out. That's where I started thinking, okay, maybe we might actually run higher, but this is way too early to take a trade where we're pretty much just the first reaction out. Next 5-minute candle plays. Nope. Where was it? Okay, so around this area over here is where I started looking for an entry. Yeah, it was right around this area. I started scaling to the 1 minute. I saw that we created this 1-minute gap right over here. So I limit ordered this 1-minute gap pretty much instantly. I think I was targeting 50. Yeah, 57 was the target. You can see I get filled right away. Price starts rising up. Oh, also the break-even point was pretty much right over here. This was the most frustrating thing I've ever witnessed. So go right here. Look, my my TP got edged by 3 points. We get edged by 3 points. I'm pretty much, I'm already break even, but I'm also trailing a little higher just for a bit more profit. I was like, okay, there's no way we go any much lower before going higher because we already ran almost to my whole take profit. End up getting break even. End up getting break even on this trade. Was really mad at the time because it literally next candle prints higher. So took my re-entry right over here,
Now, no, this was not an emotional re-entry. This re-entry simply just made sense. You can see this is literally the most beautiful continuation ever. Simple, simple. 1 minute displacement invalidated the entire move lower. Entry was right over here. Break even point, simple right here. And it plays out. So we ended up taking 2 trades today. This was the P&L across 6 of the accounts. There we go. 6 accounts. So if I did realize also if I simply just held my original trade, I obviously gave myself, like, looking back, there's probably like 10 more points. If I just wasn't greedy and trailed to profit, if I just held, the trade would have played out regardless. So that second entry wasn't necessary, and it was, if anything, was an add-in, but I was at my max contracts on the day. So simply not necessary to take that second trade if I just simply held the original one. But personally, honestly, bro, seeing my position up almost 2.3k, then going back to zero is extremely emotional. So I was like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna let that much money just blow away, because on a funded account, I'm generally gonna trail as aggressive if we're 3 points away. I'm not gonna lose a trade for over 3 points. It's so stupid, right? But considering his evals, I was like, okay, let's just play this out. I wasn't paying attention to the trade, really just doom scrolling on my phone, watching it out. But yeah, another cool thing I want to show you guys today is one of my guys that I've been working with, teaching him trading, ended up passing his first eval today. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I will pop up a screenshot right over here. So pretty much he came to me about 2 months ago because he saw one of my TikToks. So I've been working with him for a while. First month was just pretty much just helping him understand the model, understand how to build his own model, importantly, build his own discretion, his intuition. And 1 month after practicing, so the first month was simply just building it, all that. Month later, boom, eval pass. So that is really cool to see that on a day that I had a really good trading day, so did he. So really nice to see, but it's really all I can say for that. One of my accounts is $12 away from being passed, so we'll see what I can do with that. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Now, before I call it a day with you guys, I want to just talk about this one point. I can't stress enough how important patience really is, because if we were to go back to my charts, so if I can show you guys an example again, this was market open right over here at 9:30. So you can see, as I explained, all I wanted today was longs. I literally didn't mark out any targets at all on my lower price. This is literally just an indicator. So I didn't have anything lower marked out because I was like, I don't care. If we start going lower, I'm not going to trade. Now, maybe, yes, this all looks like some nice low resistance liquidity, but I'm not going to try and catch that first move down when I can just simply wait for a move, see if we retrace and maybe catch a second move. But today I was not looking for shorts at all. It generally doesn't make sense to short when we're displacing this bullish for the past month. Literally the entire month. Hop on the 4 hour. The whole month of April has been what? Clear displacement. So I just want to stress to you guys, don't FOMO into shorts, into stupid trades just because you see a massive candle. I'm going to play out this one candle here. Look what happens the first 10 minutes of market open. We start dumping. This was 100 points that we moved. Yeah, 101 points we moved in the first 10 minutes of market open. A lot of people would start FOMOing into longs or start looking for longs because they're, oh my God, we just displaced 100 points. There's no way we're going to start running higher. But again, I mentioned, I don't care. I didn't care in this moment. I generally did not care about price moving lower. All I was doing, I was on the charts. I had the charts in front of me. I was sitting in my chair leaning back, and this was $1 million tip for you guys. I was literally like this, literally just doom scrolling, waiting for my setup to appear. If my setup didn't appear, no trade. Simple as that. Sorry. Yeah, simple as that. No trade. But all I was doing was literally just waiting. If I saw price start to move into my bias, into whatever I said only made sense, I told myself the only thing that makes sense today is the longs. So once I saw we started displacing, that's when I put my phone down, and I hopped on the charts to have a look. First entry, okay, didn't play out, but that means still, all I want to mention is, guys, patience is key. Same thing with my student who passes eval today. He was $150 away from passing his eval, and this dude waited, I think it was almost a whole hour. So he landed a trade, first of all, somewhere around this original pump he caught a trade. Next of all, he was $150 away from trading, from passing his eval. He simply sat out of this whole entire move because he was like, this really didn't, he didn't really like this entire move here. He wasn't looking to chase price, because after this entry that I caught, realistically, you are starting to chase price because we already again bought up almost 100 something points, probably even more. Let's have a look. So we bought up 120 points, realistically trying to catch another move after that. You're kind of chasing. So all he did was literally waited an hour. He waited longer and longer. Somewhere around over, let's hop on the 5 minute. I know he took a trade when we started selling off. So simply, yeah, after this sell off, somewhere in this area, he literally caught his quick move. He waited, sat out of this, didn't take any FOMO when we were chopping around, simply was patient, and it paid off. So again, I just want to emphasize to you guys, patience is so important. You've seen in my passive recaps, all of my losses have been from taking impatient trades, just wanting to take something to take. So that's really it. Patience is key, and you will see over time it always will pay out. Okay, so it is Wednesday now. We are done with the trading day. So I gave you guys a little sneak peek there. So this is how it went. So going into the session today, I'll try, let me just back up the playing to around 9:30. Okay, so this is what New York AM ended up looking like on the hourly. So pre-market, this is where we were. We had all-time highs right above here. But what you see with this target is we have one failed attempt to take it, two failed attempts, three failed attempts, and we're going to have a fourth one. So we tried to take all-time highs 4 times before this, and none of those attempts ended up taking it out. So what that told me was that all-time highs was a really ass draw, even though that's the only draw we have. It was a low probability draw, which I wasn't willing to try and predict when we take it. So you can see scaling with a 1 on the 5 minutes even worse. So we have 1, 2, 3. So watch what happens when market opens. We just absolutely dumped, right? Yeah. So we dumped. We end up taking it out right over here. But even on the 1 minute, like, you would think that maybe this setup would play. Oh, nice. You have one retrace here, second retrace here, third retrace takes it on the lower time frame. So again, that just goes to show that all-time highs was a little bit of a risky draw to trade, all because we had the massive rejection week. We weren't targeting a real all-time high, more like the sweep of the all-time high. So all-time high got swept 2 days before, had a massive rejection, and we still have been failing to go higher. So simply, I did not trade towards all-time highs today. What I did instead, sorry guys. So what I just did instead was wait for price to see. So we take out all-time highs, right? I want to see if price would continue displacing higher. And we did end up going higher. I wasn't going to take any trades here. I waited for a really deep retrace, something nice. This is a decent trade here. All-time highs is simply about just retrace expansion. Target whatever you feel comfortable targeting. So this is what I take over here. You see we start going lower, lower, lower. We don't have, I think it was a 2 minute. Yeah, 2-3 minute gap. It honestly, I mean, the gaps don't make that much of a difference. You'll find a gap on some sort of time frame you're looking at. If I'm on the 1 minute, I can find a 15-second gap if I really want to. So it's not that much of a big deal for me to what we're respecting. We get a really nice flip. I enter right over here, break even at these internal highs right over here. And this ends up playing out about to right over here. So I was in 2 minis, I believe. I only needed like $500. I think that was 13 points if I'm correct. I don't know. Some accounts needed more. But anyways, that was the trade I ended up taking. But now let me get into this. Have a look at this right over here. Do you see anything wrong with this? Because I do. Why is one account negative 1.1? I got filled in a sell position on that account when I took my trade. So right over here, I got filled literally like this. I don't know where the stop was, but we have 16 points of drawdown, 16 to 20 points with 2 to 3 minis. So I don't care about the TP, whatever, but I got filled in a sell position when I clearly just showed you guys I was looking for long. So Boom. That account is now 1.2 from being passed. So I can still get it done, but why does this happen every time? Every single time. I don't know. I have nothing to say, but at least we got one account, two account passed. The other ones are $300-ish away. This one's 1.2. So most likely we'll try and get those passed tomorrow. I just ended up trailing closing because these accounts were pretty much both passed. So I closed when these were passed and these ended up going right here. Didn't really care. But yeah, we need to try and see what I can do with this stupid account. I already have a ticket open with Trade Sinker. Let me just show you guys. Yeah, so here's the ticket over here. They ended up giving me credits for the loss. I don't know if it was over here, but they ended up giving me credit for the mistake, which means I get another free month of this bullshit software. I will probably be trying out different trade copiers in the near future. The only reason I like TradeSync so much is it works on mobile. That is an option for me. I love that, but doesn't really matter if I can't trade the accounts, right? But overall, really clean day. I was happy with my analysis on the charts that I wasn't willing to take that initial long to all-time highs because we had 4 failed attempts at taking it. So yeah, it is what it is. This is out of my reach at this point. It's out of my control. There's nothing I can do about that other than, message support. I'm not going to whine about it because it already happened. All I can do is move on at this point. But yeah, as I said, really good day, clean targets, clean trade, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Chat, what is up? It is now Thursday, 4 p.m. market close about 20 minutes ago. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Today was one of the most frustrating and anger-filled trading days I've had in so long. No, I did not crash out. Before I show you guys the trades that I ended up taking today, let me just tell you what ended up happening to me. So we took 3 trades on the day today. First one was beautiful, super clean trade. I love the trade. Ended up getting break even, not a big deal. Second trade, really good too. It was playing with volume to my draws. I ended up getting break even on that. Now here's what happened. I got break even. My follower account, so the leader account, the account that is taking the trade, got closed for $8 loss, whatever. It was a break even trade. I don't care. Second account closed for negative $120, and then account 3 and 4 closed for $135 of a loss. That doesn't make sense, right? The leader account took an $8 loss, and the other accounts got $134 of a loss. I was risking $300 on the trade, and somehow I got closed halfway through my drawdown, which doesn't make sense. The trade never even hit half of my drawdown. I got closed at break even. So once this happened and I realized what happened, I had so much just genuine anger filled up in me because of how bad this copy trader has been. If you guys remember last week's video, I got close for break even on my leader account, and my follower accounts took a $700 hit, which is absolutely insane in that sense too, right? So what I couldn't understand was, how does the same issue happen 2 times in the span of 1 week? So in the moment, I was extremely angry, but I was able to calm myself down. I was like, this is an issue out of my reach. Again, there's nothing I can do about it right now. So all I did was, we still had really good volume to the upside where I got break even. I was like, I'm going to re-enter and I'm going to go for account pass on this trade. Now, what ends up happening is I'm trailing. I see that I'm almost $200 something in profit. I'm like, okay, sick. I'm going to start trailing aggressively to at least mitigate that loss. Because at this point, it is what it is. If the trade it ends up hitting, if it doesn't end up hitting, I want to make sure at least I wipe this entire problem away. I want to have this issue gone because there's always tomorrow. There's always another day to pass the accounts. Who really cares about that? I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried of is, why do I keep having these issues happen to me? So let's go into, I'll show you guys. This is what, I'm not lying to you. This is what happened, right? So as you can see, one account, let me bring this up to my main monitor so I can have a better image to show you guys. Here we go. So
this is how the accounts closed. Does that make it better? Not really. Anyways, main account, about $9 of a loss. Second account took 120. Two accounts took 134. This is what makes no sense to me. The account that took the $120 loss had a 2-time copy ratio, means I was risking $600 on this account and then $300 on account 1, 2, and 3. So how does the account that has a bigger copy, a heavier risk, get close for a smaller dollar amount the two accounts that had less risk on them? Right? Makes no sense, but at least I was able to close in profit. Thankfully, we closed in profit on the accounts. Issues over. I got credits again. So now I have 2 full months of trade copying for free, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to continue using the software, because how do I keep getting closed 2 times in a row? How does this happen? Come on. But yeah, I am completely over the situation. I am now a little more frustrated now that I'm talking about this to you guys. But again, market's closed. We're up on the day, green on the day. I can genuinely not complain. I am happy with myself. I'm happy that I was able to manage my anger, manage my emotions, and still execute logically. So this was market open, 9-ish a.m. What do we see? We were ranging pretty much all through Asia. We had a massive sell-off last night. It was some weird volume. We sold off, bought back up, sold off. So anyways, stuck in a range. Same thing. All-time highs is really close. Only viable draw is all-time highs, Asia highs. Same thing, as I said, this entire month has been the exact same thing. We're just going up. I am not going to short when we are close to all-time highs. One thing long. All I'm waiting for is this motion right here. So I think 9:30. Yeah, so pretty much market open plays out. Strong displacement. So I enter on the 9:45 candle close. This is 9:45 pretty much. So I enter right over here. My target was a little over Asia high. I remember I was risking 300 to make 300, I believe, something like that. It was pretty much something like this. I don't remember the exact trade, but this trade ends up getting break even. So you see, this is a beautiful trade to take. Break even point right over here. I should have been realistically targeting probably over here, maybe risking a little harder on the trade, but it is what it is. This trade ends up sweeping, break even, and rejects. So I get break even on this trade. Not a big deal. I really like this trade. I was so happy with this trade. Wasn't even mad at the break even. I was like, this is a super clean trade. And 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, that kind of setup will always play out. So I'm not mad about it. Next trade I end up taking. So you can see that we get, after we tap back down, we go back, we hold this 15-minute gap once again, we start getting displacement out. I was like, oh my God, here we go. We're going to finally start running to all-time highs. I scaled down to the 1 minute, I believe, because I saw the 5 was displacing. I started, so right around this area on the 5 minute, I was like, okay, cool. Motorcycles, bro. Motorcycles. So I see that we are starting to get really good closes, right? And my first entry, I believe, was somewhere around this area over here, I think. I entered off genuinely just displacement. I ended up getting break even, I believe. So I don't remember where the entry was. It was somewhere around this area over here. But that first trade ended up break evening me. That's where I got so frustrated. So second trade, I ended up entering. I think it was literally on the top of this candle. My idea being that, yeah, this was I remember the second trade. I don't remember where my next trade was. My genuine idea was we're going to continue running with or without me in this trade. I am on evals. Let's see how this goes. Break even at this high right over here. Go up, and I started trailing. So I closed somewhere around this area. I got my win back. That's all that matters. But yeah, closed green on the day across all my accounts, thankfully. But yeah, as I mentioned, guys, this was genuinely one of the most frustrating days for me, because I'm honestly tired of this kind of thing happening on my trade copiers. But again, I'm literally just complaining. There's nothing I could have done in this situation. I'm waiting back to hear from support on what happened last week and this week, so we are waiting to hear back on those two. But yeah, what the accounts are standing at is by the looks of it, every single account is about $100-ish, like 100. One account's $100, the other ones are around 130-ish away. Whatever, I'll get that done whenever I can. So pretty much we are looking at max allocation. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. But yeah, again, I'm so happy that I was able to manage my emotions. After I closed those two green trades, I immediately walked out and just stepped away from the markets. I was like, I'm genuinely done with this. I don't even want to trade anymore, even if there are any more opportunities. We do end up running to all-time highs later with this, so I could have maybe found some sort of other entry. But after I closed green, I'm like, that's it. That's generally it. I don't want to trade anymore. And also, really weird enough, we got a fat fucking sell-off right to Asia lows. And I think it went even lower. Yeah. So we went and took out whatever this was. We had a massive sell-off at PM session. Right around 1 p.m. we sold off about 400 points, as you can see. But again, I did not care about this one that was happening. I was just laughing. I'm like, yeah, of course that happens. But yeah, nothing else I'm going to say. I can keep repeating myself all I want, but I will catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, last day of the week. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. So it is Friday, 6 p.m. We are done with the trading week. As you can see, I'm not going to bother showing you any charts today because I didn't even really trade. I ended up only needing, as I showed you guys, like $100 to $200 across the accounts to end up passing them. So all I did was just take a super simple scalp to get the accounts passed. And yeah, the accounts are now passed. I'm going to try and pull up an email for you guys, but honestly, there wasn't any reason even to try and trade today. Price action was really disgusting. We were just pretty much chopping. That's again why I want to mention I'm not going to bother showing you any charts. There was nothing to show you guys. So yeah, I don't see the point of showing you guys a chart that I didn't end up trading, but emails are right over here. Every account is passed. We have these three, and then also I did end up passing that account before. So pretty much max allocation. I know I have one more account I'm probably not going to pass. It's the account that hit negative 1.1k on the trade 2 days ago, where I ended up longing and it got filled in a short position. That account most likely is probably gone, for being realistic. So pretty much the allocation right now is 1 My Funded Futures account, which is the 2-day payout account, and then 4 Alpha Futures 0. So if you really think about it, it's almost maxed allocation across those two firms. I have 4 and 1, 5 accounts. So 550Ks we are trading with. All of them have really similar trading styles. One has a 40% consistency, one has a 50%. So pretty much risk is going to be the exact same on both accounts. I'm not going to be risking too heavy, just trying to aim for max payout if I can go for that. But yeah, ending the week, max allocated, pretty much no losses at all this week. Really had no losses other than the copy trader working. We went green on every single trade, 100% win rate week. So that is amazing. That's amazing to think of. But yeah, that's end of the week. I really do appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, Instagram's always open, Discord is open. You can send me DMs. I answer everything. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next week.